When it comes to adorable animals, hedgehogs are right up there with kittens and puppies. These tiny, spiky creatures are a mix of cuteness and mystery that makes them impossible to ignore. With their quills, curious noses, and tendency to curl up into little balls, hedgehogs have captured hearts worldwide. But there's so much more to these little guys than just their Instagram-worthy looks. First off, let's talk about those quills. Hedgehogs are covered in thousands of them, up to 7,000, to be exact. These aren't the sharp, barbed quills like porcupines have. Though, hedgehog quills are more like stiff hairs, and they're not meant to hurt unless the hedgehog feels threatened. When they're scared, they'll roll up into a tight ball, with their quills pointing outward as a natural defense mechanism. It's basically their way of saying, "Touch me at your own risk." And while this makes them look tough, hedgehogs are actually quite shy and peaceful creatures. One of the most charming things about hedgehogs is their tiny, twitchy noses. These little noses are incredibly powerful tools. Hedgehogs rely heavily on their sense of smell to find food and navigate their surroundings, especially since their eyesight isn't the best. They're nocturnal animals, meaning they're most active at night, which is when they wander around sniffing out insects, worms, and other snacks. Yeah, hedgehogs are natural pest controllers, making them quite useful to gardeners. Speaking of food, hedgehogs have a reputation for being curious eaters. While they mostly stick to insects in the wild, they won't turn down a juicy piece of fruit or a small serving of veggies. But here's a fun fact: they don't actually eat milk or bread, despite the old myths about leaving these out for them in your garden. In fact, dairy can upset their stomachs, so it's a definite no-go. Hedgehogs are also surprisingly vocal for such small animals. They communicate through an assortment of hops, snuffles, and even little squeaks. Each sound means something different, from curiosity to contentment, and if you've ever owned a hedgehog as a pet, you'll quickly learn to recognize their moods by these adorable noses. And then there's their infamous self-anointing behavior. If you've ever seen a hedgehog frothing at the mouth and smearing the foam all over its quills, don't panic. It's not sick, it's just being a hedgehog. Scientists aren't entirely sure why they do this, but it's thought to be a way of disguising their scent or even protecting themselves from predators by using a substance they found. Whatever the reason, it's one of the weird yet endearing quirks that make hedgehogs so fascinating. Sadly, wild hedgehogs are facing threats due to habitat loss and road accidents. They're small, and when crossing streets at night, they often fall victim to cars. Conservation efforts around the world aim to protect these tiny creatures, ensuring they have safe spaces to live and thrive.